what the greatest thing about sports is? You play to win the game.
Inch by inch, play by play, till we're finished.
This is Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast.
X about me.
With Professional Sutton.
You already know.
Chris G.
My homie.
And the Rucker Report.
My family, what up?
They for real.
All straight with no chaser.
Let the games begin.
Let's go. Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast.
Yeah. All right. We are back and at it. Got my brothers with me. Welcome to another edition of Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. I'm your boy, Professional Sutton.
And I'm your boy, Chris G.
I think that he hit mute. We can't hear you, Ruck. And it's your boy, the Ruck Report.
Yo.
Jersey.
Yeah, I'm here.
I knew you were.
The producer told me to mute my phone, and just like Zoom calls, I forgot it.
Nah, it's all good.
But it's your boy, the Rucker Report.
What's good, fellas? How y'all doing?
What up?
Well, listen, man. I know it's
Yo.
I know we're not into sports, but sports is definitely coming. So we want to talk about that. But before we talk about that, we want to thank our sponsor, 94.3 WYBC.
The rhythm of the city.
And also, folks, just so you know, we are looking for sponsors. If you look on the screen, I have all the information there, so you can hit us up. You can inbox us if you're trying to, get your situation right. If you want to get your business going on, definitely hit us up. We are looking for sponsors because we want to help you grow your business, but also we want to grow ours with you. And you can find us at all these locations: Facebook, Instagram at RealDSTM1, Twitter, RealDSTM1, actually. RealDSTM, that's the Instagram page. Also, Chris, he going to leave you his Cash App at the end of that. So, if you want to donate to my brother
Chris 23233.
Definitely.
That's
man.
Chris 23233. Drop a couple dollars in there.
Yeah, every little bit helps, man. Every little bit helps. So
Quack can't be the only one getting paid.
Nah, man. Listen, I want my brothers getting paid, man. It ain't just about me. It's about us. You know what I mean? So
you know what? I hear a lot of fast talking because what I know is me and Ruck is owed $5 a piece.
Listen, it's still there. That $5 is still there, yo. It's still there. That $5 ain't going nowhere. So on the menu today, on the roster, we got some good stuff that we're gonna talk about, man. We want to talk about this whole minority incentive that the NFL is giving out. We want to talk about, is it fair? Should it be going on? What you think about it? Also, Dame Lilliard responds to Dan Orlovsky. We got some audio for that. We're going to try to play it for you. If you can't hear it, then we'll tell you about it. Also, we got the NBA playoffs. NBA is set to return in July, so we're going to talk about all that. But fellas, man, before we start there, man, how are you guys doing, man? How are you guys doing, man? Straight up.
Ruck, you take that, man.
I'm gonna be doing a lot better next week because the barbershop is gonna be open. So see me next week.
Okay, all right. So next week, Ruck gonna be ready to rock and roll. So we're gonna be set. I'm gonna make sure that everybody can see. Can y'all see the live? Is good?
Yeah, I can see it. It look good.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure everything is good. So I'm gonna start sharing it to my different groups, man. Let everybody know. That
look like somebody don't got a fresh one this week, but
Listen, I never had a fresh one. Listen, man, I never had a fresh one. I'm for the call.
Right.
I'm for the call.
Yeah, right.
Got you.
So, speaking of riding for the cause, man, we got a lot going on before the NFL season even kicks off. Now we got this minority coaches and their incentives and how the NFL want to play that out. Now, Ruck, can you please tell the people about this and what's this incentives that the NFL want to give if you are hiring minorities in positions?
I mean, the long and short of the whole thing is that they're going to start rewarding teams with different draft picks in terms of their order. If they have certain people that are on their coaching staff and and things like that, or the amount of interviews that you do. So with the initial reaction, I think my initial reaction was the same as everybody else's. Like, this is definitely a bunch of BS. It's really disrespectful to the people that have been minority coaches in the league. It's really disrespectful to the people that have been minorities that have had such a slim opportunity to get in front office positions, much less coaching. But then I started to think about this. And Chris, you're going to love this one. So I listened to Jay Williams talk about this joint. And I hardly ever agree with anything else Jay Williams say, unless you say he's from Jersey, because he is from Jersey. But what he did say was something very interesting, was just the fact that we know, or we should know, because of the climate that we're in, that this is the NFL's ploy as this is them trying to meet their quota. This is them not really believing in the fairness needed across the board, but this is them doing what they do to protect the shield, to protect the business. But what Jay Williams said is, if the door is open for us to walk through, no matter how it's open, we still need to walk through it. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of people might not agree with that, but I think, again, his whole point was, if this gives others opportunities, we need to take full advantage of this and what they're doing now. Mm. So I think my stance is kind of softened a little on this, but I want to see how all of this plays out, because there are tons of minority coaches that have been around the league that need opportunities. I mean, we talked about last week Eric Bieniemy. We talked about other people that have done great things in this league. We saw the league over the last year in their 100-season campaign really highlight women and giving them more opportunities in terms of team activities, team jobs in the front office and things like that. So it is our turn. Mm-hmm. But I still have a problem with how they're letting it be our turn. But at the same time, take what we can get. So I'm with it.
I'm letting Chris go. So Chris, what do you say to that? Do you think that, we should just go with it, or you think that we should say, hey, you know what? Listen, it should be fair all across the board?
I would say that, first of all, I just want to come straight out and say that this voting rule is a bunch of bullshit. That's how I feel about it. And I understand what Jay Williams is saying. If we're going to get an opportunity, even if it's a messed up opportunity, then, you still got to walk through that door. And there's some validity to that. I won't totally throw that away. I won't, as they say, throw the baby away with the bathwater on that assumption that he's making. But at the same time, I also don't want black coaches to be used as a tool for owners and teams. Mm-hmm. I don't want it to be, well, we don't really need a black coach, but you know what we do need? We do need a couple extra picks in this draft coming up. So let's go grab us a black coach to put them with the D-backs or the running backs or the wide receivers or whatever, so we could get a little incentive. I mean, once we get them, we'll see how it is, but I don't want the determining factor of them hiring a black coach to be for the benefit of getting something extra from the league. I want you to hire a black coach because he was equipped and the best person for the job. I want you to hire a black coach because you did the interview process, and in that interview process, you felt like he gives you the best chance to win. I want you to give a black coach a job because you, as an owner or as an organization, just don't want to give handouts to your boys because your son used to go to college with this white dude 15 years ago, and now he's an offensive coordinator at North Dakota State, and you think he's going to be the second coming of whatever white coach is the thing in the league at the current time. So, I got a big problem with how they're framing it. Mm-hmm. I understand that black coaches in the NFL haven't gotten a lot of chances, so any chance should be I don't know, accept it. But I just don't fall in that line of thinking, man. I want them to actually say, we're going to give them a shot. And whether you hire them or not, let the chips fall where they may. But a lot of times with the first Rooney Rule that's in place now, they'll just give you an interview because they have to, but you already done heard through the grapevine that they hiring this white coach anyway. Like, for instance, when the Cowboys hired Mike McCarthy, was there anybody else everybody pretty much knew it was Mike McCarthy from the jump. So what was that interview process? Miss me with the good experience stuff. A good experience is if I actually got a shot in the interview. That's good experience. But if you just giving me the interview just so you could fill a quota, they're going to do the same thing with this new Rooney Rule. You're just going to give extra interviews or hire a coach just to fill a quota so you can benefit from it. And I don't like it.
I definitely agree with that, Chris. I definitely agree with what you're saying because now I agree to, I definitely agree, if we have an opportunity, then go with it. And that's cool. My only problem with this is that I don't want them to, once again, use our labor to benefit them. So, for example, let's just say, I don't know, the Cleveland Browns, right? They say, you know what? We're going to hire us a black coach. We're going to make sure that this black coach get what he deserves. Okay, we're going to give it to him so we can get these picks. Now, they get these draft picks. They get everything that they're getting. Next thing you know, they're like, yeah, your 3 years is up. And he could have a winning record. We've seen NFL coaches with winning records still get the boot. And I don't want it to be where, like Chris said, you're filling quota. You just take an interview because, okay, let me just do this. And that's it. But through the grapevine, we already know who's going to get the job. We already know that white coaches are going to fill up. White coaches are going to get their just due, even if they don't deserve it. We've seen it happen all across major sports. So to incentivize the teams, it's pretty sickening. You shouldn't have to incentivize them. If the league is 85% black and there's only 4 minority coaches, head coaches, that's a problem. That is a problem right there. And that problem needs to be addressed. So they can give all the draft picks, they can give whatever they want, but it needs to be already in place, because you're going to see a lot of these greedy owners say, hey, listen, let's just hire him. Let's just continue to make my billions of dollars. Even if we lose, he had a shot. Hey, I don't know what to tell him. And that's what I don't want to happen. Like Chris said, they're going to hire these coaches just to put them on the roster so they can get what they want. And then what? They're going to kick them out? So that's my only gripe with that. Like, I don't like it because it shouldn't have to be incentivized. It shouldn't have to be. You should hire these coaches because they are well qualified. They put in their just due, and they should get the job if they are, doing it really, really well. So,
I'm gonna just say this, and it's not that I don't agree with you, but even if you're not gonna hire them, at least I just give them a fair shot in the interview.
Right.
Just don't already come out going, yo, we know the guy that we want, but we just gonna go through the process because this is what we got to do. Mm-hmm. Then why go through the process?
Right.
You just going through the motions. It's all for show, and I don't like all for show.
I agree.
Be the real you. If you're an asshole, be an asshole.
I agree.
If you genuinely good, be genuinely good. But don't put on a show for nobody. So if you're not gonna hire if for a fact you already got your guy, whoever that may be, and there is a lot of coaches in the NFL. Because Kingsbury comes to mind, Matt LaFleur comes to mind, that just got job in. Yes.
Adam
what's old boy for the Jets? I can't remember his name right now. I was down in Miami.
Adam
Gase. There's a lot of unqualified. They either have shown you that they suck, or were very unqualified at the level that they came from, that you just decided was the guy, right? So only thing I'm saying is, why can't you give a black coach a fair interview? Just a fair interview.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even want obviously I ain't coaching, so I don't give a fuck. But I don't even want the fake gesture. Well, this is good experience for you. Nah. Give me a real shot. Let me know you haven't made a decision, and whoever comes in and wows you the most gets the job. And if Adam Gase and Cliff Kingsbury and Matt LaFleur and all the mother, if they really wow you over and they win, fine. You know what? You won. But don't just come out and go, yo, that's the guy we want, and then go through a bunch of bullshit interviews, because that mentality of how they do it is just going to carry over to the next Rooney Rule, because let's not act like the first Rooney Rule was working.
Nope.
So the second Rooney Rule ain't going to work if they already had their mind set up of how they were going to work it with the first rule. Mm-hmm. They're going to have their minds made up and a plan in place to how to work the second rule for their benefit.
Agreed.
They don't want to hire black coaches. There's a stigma in sports, especially NBA and in football, about black leadership positions. And a Rooney Rule, to me, ain't going to fix it.
I agree. Now, what would you say would be, Ruck, what would you say, should be done about this? Again, because, they're going to just try to sweep it on the rug. But what do you think needs to be done for this to be fair all across the board?
I mean, it just everything that Chris just said, really, for it to be fair, it really has to be a level playing field. My thing is, teams and general managers and owners have all the carte blanche to say who they want. That's definitely on them. But if it's going to be a true process, let it be a true process. If you're going to say that your owner and your franchise is about winning, at least make your choice be somebody that's been a winner in the NFL, or not just a fad. I think that was the most upsetting thing watching Kevin Stefanski get the job in Cleveland, because they never gave Eric Bieniemy a shot at all. I think you talk about the guy that was the special teams coach in New England that gets the Giants has job. Yeah. Where did that come from? And my thing is, the sad part about it is that our coaches have been tremendously successful in every league that they've been in. Like, you can't tell me that Lovie Smith wasn't successful in Chicago. You can't tell me that Tony Dungy wasn't successful in Tampa Bay, in Indianapolis. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that,
Denny Green wasn't successful in Minnesota.
You can't tell me. You can't tell me that Denny Green wasn't successful. You can't tell me that Herm Edwards wasn't successful. You can't tell me that Ozzie Newsome wasn't or should not go down as one of the best GMs of all time. Agreed. There are a lot of things that they just overlook, and I think, again, the ironic thing, and I think the thing that hurts the most for the true sports person that watches this, is that they make these decisions at the sacrifice of losing. Of winning, because they say they want to win, but they're making decisions that have nothing to do with winning. You want to meet a fad, you want to meet a quota, you want to do a favor that you owe somewhere else. So I don't know if there's anything that can truly be done to fix it, because, listen, for every Raheem Morris, right?
Oh, man.
Shout out to my boy Rob from Jersey. For every Raheem Morris, there's a Greg Schiano. You understand? So it's not at a place, or it won't be at a place, where we can get true equality with it. But just give us the true shot, like Chris is saying. And my thing is, you got to understand this too. And y'all know I say it all the time about the banana and the tailpipe. They're saying that you're going to get extra picks. They didn't say that you had to keep these people in those positions once you got those picks.
Okay. I thought that you had to keep them for at least 2 years. And then,
they're going to find a way around that, brother.
Now I just
going to find a way around it.
Now, I do want to, get to some of these points, and if you're just tuning in, you tune into one of the best podcasts out there, Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. I want to hit up some of these points. Raymond B. Bennett said, and which is a good point. He said Caldwell last year with the Lions, he won 9 games and Matt Patricia hasn't won 9 games. And then also, shouts out to Doug.
Hold on. Because we brought up this point before, or I know I did. Not only Matt Patricia hasn't won 9 games, he hasn't won 9 games in 2 years. Matter of fact, let's not forget, Caldwell just missed the playoffs his last year that they fired him. The year before that, he was in the playoffs when they got robbed by the Cowboys. And they should have won that first round matchup. And remember, they gave him a very short leash.
Very short leash.
And his predecessor, what's his name? He's the defensive coordinator for
Pagano. Chuck Pagano.
No, not Chuck. No, Chuck is in Indy. It's the small dude. Him and Harbaugh got into a skirmish when the Niners had beat him.
Something Shorts. Yeah, there we go. Yep.
Shorts.
Yeah.
Is it Jim Schwartz?
Yep.
Jim Schwartz.
Yep.
They gave him. Had one good season. He had one good season. Actually, that was the season that him and the Niners went at it, and he was sucky the rest of his tenure there. But they gave him this long leash, and then Caldwell gets the job. He's immediately successful. He's playoff contention and winning record. And you know what? Matt Patricia, the shiny new toy from New England, and it's not like those guys paying out well in the NFL. And, he's the shiny new toy. He comes in and he's sucked. He's been sucking. And then the words that he had with Darius Slay, I don't know if y'all remember those words.
Yep.
About him not being an elite D-back and him shouldn't be working out with the top cornerbacks in the league because he ain't on that level. That's the head coach that they want molding and shaping these young athletes on teams. They'd rather have a Matt Patricia. And I guarantee you this, Matt Patricia can have another losing season this year. Guarantee it. If it's even a smidgen, as long as it's not catastrophic, like 2 wins or something like that. If he gets you 5 or 6 wins, we're making progress.
No, but even if he does, have a catastrophic season, what they would do is they'll let him go, but they'll make sure that he goes to a team where he can be a defensive coordinator, he can shine, he can continue to progress, and then guess what? He's going to get another head coaching job.
But you know what though? I don't really want to hear that because I don't know how good of a defensive coordinator he is. Because Bill Belichick is the defensive coordinator for the New England Patriots. Because that's what they're saying about Eric Bieniemy in Kansas City. Andy Reid is the offensive guru. As far as I'm concerned, Bill Belichick is the guru of defense. I don't know how good Matt Patricia is. I know he's got a beard, and I know he keeps a pencil in a backwards hat like a fucking dummy. I know he does that. But aside from that, what the hell has Matt Patricia done? He's been a loser as a head coach since he's taken the job. A loser. But he's still, you know what? He's following the great trajectory of a Jeff Fisher. Great trajectory to be a mediocre, but keep getting chances because your defense is halfway good sometimes, coach.
Well, listen.
Matt Patricia could kick rocks for all I care.
Well, listen, I just want to read Douglas' comment real quick. Douglas said, video the interviews and let everyone see and hear the qualification just to prove our point. Now,
they ain't gonna put that stuff on Front Street like that.
I would love for that to happen.
Would love it. I would love it.
I would love for them to say, hey, you know what? We're going to be fair. We're going to make sure that everybody get a chance. But you know what's going to happen? They're going to have a video outage. They're going to say that they can't do it. They're going to say that they don't want to, disrespect anyone's privacy. It's going to be a whole bunch of mess. Even if, even if they don't do the interview, they should let the black candidate say, hey, listen, this is what we talked about. Did I think it was fair? There should be a survey, and we should know about it. But again, when you have billionaire white owners, that is the issue. You have these old white owners who don't care about sports because they're still going to create revenue anyway. Now, I'm not going to lie, they are probably sweating a little bit because of what's going on, but I'm sure that the NFL season is still going to start. But you have to make sure that we have some of us in the top positions, and that's where it starts, like at the GM, at the president spots. And that's when it's going to change. But until then, we're still going to get the same rhetoric. We're still going to get, oh, well, this guy is more qualified. Even though he could have a winning record here and this coach can have a losing record. But as far as the incentives, I think that it's not going to work. And like you said, Ruck, they're going to find a way. We're going to get you by midway point. It's in your contract. If you don't do good, we got to let you go. We got to let you go because they're going to say it's now.
You know what the other ironic thing is?
What's that?
I bet you won't see the token African American coaching commercial from American Express this year. Like there won't be a MacBook commercial about an African American coach, which I think is not only the fact that they did it for the women candidates that they had, I thought was really disrespectful, but just the fact that you won't even give us an opportunity like that neither. It's just, again, another kick in the face. Maybe, Goodell will be on a different wave this season, but we'll see. But again, at the end of the day, people should understand what this is. This is the Shield, man. Yep. It is the ultimate good old boys network. All you got to do is watch one episode of Ballers, and you'll understand that.
Nice.
I'll say this: as far as the NFL goes with black coaches, and this is pretty much all I say, or this is about to be the rest I'll say on it. There's only a few teams that will legitimately fuck with a black coach. There's only a few. Steelers come to mind.
Yep.
Vikings come to mind. The Colts come to mind. The Bengals come to mind.
I'll say the Jets too a little bit.
No.
Okay.
Look, I think Herm. I think Herm was good as the Jets coach for a long time, and I'm telling you,
very good.
As soon as he wasn't, they was ready to get him out. And what I mean by that is, I feel like they'll give a lot of leash. A lot of teams in the NFL will give some growing pains to their coaches.
The Bengals.
Absolutely.
There's not the same amount of teams that'll give black coaches growing pains.
Stop, Chris. Because he's about to go on this Marvin Lewis kick again.
No, listen.
And I'm telling you, man, I'm not about to do it.
No,
with you.
listen. That's right.
No.
That's
No.
Bengals.
Only thing I'm saying is there are every NFL team will give white coaches some rope. And I'm saying
I'm talking about
there's
Quet,
no. Oh no, I don't want to hear about Quet.
Yeah,
I don't hear about Quet and Marvin Lewis.
Bengals.
Listen, the
Man,
Bengals gave him
man.
Listen, you can't hate on the Bengals. The Bengals gave this man 15 years.
No, we're not hating on the Bengals. We telling you not to hate on Marvin.
I'm not hating on Marvin.
That's what we doing.
I'm not. Listen.
Yo.
Listen. I'm not hating on
Already
Marvin
knows,
at
man.
all. They gave that man 20 years. He gave them one playoff win. Listen, man. I will
say this, though.
Listen, my hat's off to them.
See?
My hat's off to them, man. Listen.
I will say this about the Bengals. I don't know how much of it is they'll give a black coach rope and how much of it their owner is extremely cheap. Like, extremely cheap.
Yes.
It could be a combination of both when it comes to the Bengals.
Well, listen.
I'll put that out there.
I mean, even if you say he's cheap, but I will still give them credit because they had a lot of troublesome players that they still kept and that they still try to make work. So I will say I will give them that credit, as far as that. But listen, Ruck, I'm going to be positive today. Marvin Lewis, shouts out to you, young man. Shouts out to you, young man, please. Speaking of young men, Dan Orlovsky and Dame, I'm just going to jump to it, man. I'm just going to jump to it. Now, I got a video here.
Doctors,
I don't know if y'all can hear it.
And they have to work more hours and get paid
I'm just
less
play it
because
because
of
people
what
probably
we're
can't
dealing
hear. But
with.
anyway,
Moms have to go to work.
Darren Orlovsky.
Teachers,
If you don't know who Darren Orlovsky
mothers,
is,
they have to
he
go
played
do that. Kids at the grocery store. I went shopping
teams.
yesterday. And doctors,
notably,
they have
he
to
played
go to
for the
work.
Lions.
And they have to work.
And he said that basically Dame was spoiled because he didn't want to play and he was entitled. Because Dame said, yo, listen, if my team is not going to win, if we are not going to be put in a position where we can win, we're not just going to be playing these handout games. I'm not playing. So Dan Orlovsky went on a whole rant and basically said, you're entitled. While he was also talking about, him being entitled, he says, some people have to work. Now, again, when you're playing a sport and you're getting paid for it, yes, it is a privilege. It's an opportunity. I understand it. But Darren Orlovsky says, well, this 16-year-old, no, I'll let Ruck tell a story because Ruck said it better than me. Go ahead, Ruck. Tell about this entitlement that Darren Orlovsky is. Talking about entitlement, that was very entitled. Please tell about that, Ruck.
Listen, first of all, he said Dame should just get up and go play basketball like he's supposed to, right?
You know what that sound like?
Other people.
You know what that sound like?
Shut up and dribble.
Hey.
Right?
I don't agree with that, but go ahead.
He said there are other people during this time of COVID-19 that don't have the choice to just not go to work, that they have to. Then he made a reference of, hey, when I went food shopping here in Westport, Connecticut, at Stu Leonard's,
which is one of the
there was a 16-year-old cashier, and he had to be at work.
Right.
So, Dame, how dare you say that you shouldn't be at work? So, for all those that don't know, Westport, Connecticut is a fairly affluent, area here in Connecticut.
No, very.
Dan Orlovsky, has been doing pretty well for himself. Say what you want about him not playing in the NFL. He got a bunch of NFL contracts that kept him in the NFL for at least 10 years. So he's made a good amount of money, right? He's making a good amount of money being an anchor on Get Up in the Morning on ESPN. So he's doing well. But I don't understand the analogy, right? Because I guarantee you that 16-year-old cashier that was at work at Stu Leonard's, he didn't really have to go to work. His parents were probably making him go to work to prove a point. Like, yeah, Johnny, we got the silver spoon for you, but we're going to make you work at Stu Leonard's to get your fair way this summer.
For your car insurance, for your Jaguar.
We don't shop at Stu Leonard's. I mean, I've been there for ice cream.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I've had some opportunities to buy a couple of things and said, damn, I spent a lot at Stu Leonard's, but I typically don't shop there. Neither do a lot of people in my community. So my thing was I just took real offense to, again, Dan having the audacity as a former professional athlete saying somebody is, entitled and a brat for not wanting to play and not even understanding the moment that he's also trying to reference here in COVID-19 that we have been given no assurances that things are changing, that people's health are going to be okay back outside in regular population. Like, why would Dame want to risk that? It's just like any other person that they consider an essential worker that has to leave and go to work and still has a family at home. That's a tremendous risk that people are taking. And if he does not have to take it, just like a lot of people are afforded the ability to work from home, like he is while he's at ESPN, why do that?
Chris,
so I just think
go ahead.
A poor choice of words for somebody to use when they're talking about entitled and being a brat.
Chris, what say you?
I disagree wholeheartedly, actually.
Okay.
Okay.
I understand how you can derive to those sentiments of you guys, and I won't.
There you go.
I won't dispute. I won't dispute any of your claims, but that's not the way I took it. I'm looking. First of all, I want to say, and I don't have it with me. I wish I would have been more prepared. But y'all know what I was doing before we got on the air. I was really just saving the world. But Dan Orlovsky came out with a statement about the current state of what's going on in the world, and we ain't talking about sports.
Mm-hmm.
And I would advise anybody who hasn't read it or haven't seen it to take a look on it. It was very insightful, thoughtful, and it showed. It just showed he knows what circle he moving in. So I'll just say that just to keep it brief. I'm looking at it from this perspective. As a regular person, and most people, you do not want to hear millionaires talking about shit hard. Okay, that is always a point of contention for people with and people without. Okay, so I'm looking at what Dan Orlovsky is saying, and yes, Stu Leonard's I like Stu Leonard's. Don't go there often because it's too far away. But I'm not going to act like everybody who work at Stu Leonard's is only working there because they want to and not because they have to. I am positive that there's people in Stu Leonard, and I think that's just the example that he was using. There are plenty of people across the nation who have to go to work. I'm one of them. I have not been afforded the luxury to be able to stay home. I just haven't because, I got a supply for me and mine. So when you hear somebody who is just going to be playing basketball and is going to be more rigorously, more tested, definitely than I am. I get my temperature taken at the door. I get a white cloth to put over my face, and there's some hand sanitizer at my desk. That's it. All right. We all know that the NBA is going to take an above and beyond approach to how their players' safety is going to be managed. Would you agree with that? So to hear somebody say, and obviously I'm a Portland Trailblazer fan, I'm a Dame fan, but I understand when somebody goes, listen, you out here talking about you ain't going to go, when there's people out here that are working jobs like at McDonald's or Burger King or in the hospital or in a whole bunch of different professions. They don't get that choice. They don't get that choice. And they're not going to have the infrastructure in place for safety like you're going to have just to go play basketball. I can understand why that comes off as entitled and a bit bratty. I'm not going to call Dame a brat because I don't feel like there's no brat in Dame. But I can see the point of perspective of where Dan Orlowski is coming from and why he said these things about Dame. And I personally wouldn't rush to get to the point of the shut up and play basketball. I definitely don't feel that in the statement from Dan Orlowski.
Well, you know,
and y'all know how I feel about Dan Orlowski.
Right.
Okay.
So here's my thing though, right? And I feel everywhere that you're coming from, Chris. But here's my thing, right? For whatever post, and I didn't read his post that he had that was insightful and all that stuff about what's going on and how the country is dealing with COVID-19 and everything in this time, right? My thing as a person, man to man, right? Keep that same energy whether the camera is on or off. If you're doing homework to make an insightful post, do your homework before you go on the camera and make a statement that you know can be taken out of line. Now, if you preface this statement by saying, listen, I'm strictly making this statement about Dame as a competitor, as a former professional athlete, this is what I'm saying as a competitor that I feel Dame should have said or should be trying to do, right? But don't sit up there and call somebody an entitled brat and this and that when you're not really going into the totality of the story. Because just like Doris Burke broke out on that, listen, Dame is also dealing with a close family member that he lost to COVID-19. Dame has just had a new child that, again, you run the risk. Whether they're taking rigorous safety standards or not, listen, it happened with people in the NBA, and it was more than I think that they let on. It wasn't just to start with Rudy Gobert. Like, there were other people that have caught this and had transmitted this over and over again to different people. So again, everybody with COVID-19 is at risk. So I get that. Yes, people are essential and they've been going to work and doing certain things. Absolutely. Now, could Dame do us being the outside from the NBA all a favor and play the game that he loves to also entertain us during this time because we don't have? But you got to understand, he's speaking from the standpoint of a competitor. If I'm not going out there to try to get a chip to win, what am I doing this for when there's a great risk for me to be sick or something to happen to me or my family? Mm-hmm. So I get it, but I'm just saying, like, again, and Chris, I know that you don't ride with Dan, but I'm also standing with Dame heavy too.
Well, I mean, I don't have a problem with, what people say, if that's what you want to say, that's cool. But at the same time, I think that in sports, you shouldn't feel that someone is being a brat or entitled because they don't want to play. And again, Dame, his reason for not playing, I understand. You know, it's like, okay, we're gonna play 5 gimme games, and then, but what is that gonna prove? And then in the midst of that, what if I get hurt? Then what? You know what I mean? So if he don't want to play,
but hold on.
You know,
I understand what you're saying, but it's like, all right, I got 2 small kids too. One that has respiratory problems, and I'm going to work making fucking gun parts. Like, I don't want to expose my kid to that, but it's what I got to do. I like Dame, you know what I mean? I hate to brag a little bit, but I had to sign a contract to where I work too. And it's a part of that contract that in good and in bad, I got to do it. Now, if I don't like it, I can quit. But I can't. I got to support mine. So, again, like, I think we all kind of saying the same thing, just coming from different perspectives. Because I agree with what you said. I understand that take of it, but I don't know. I mean, I think I'm leaning more towards the working man on this side of the argument, right, because I know that there's plenty of people who are in situations like Dane where they got either newborn kids, they got young kids, but they still got to go to work. And I can understand them turning on TV and seeing somebody go, so he can't make the playoffs, so now he don't want to play because he don't want to. He think I want to risk, flipping burgers. You know what I mean? Like it's. I think it's just a point of perspective thing on this Dan Orlovsky situation.
Right. Now,
that's what I'm saying.
Listen, I totally agree with that. But again, like you said, some people, they have to go to work because they have to make ends meet. If Dame has already said, listen, I got my endorsements, I got my deals doing this, I am set for the year, I don't have to go back, I'm fine, then that's what he should do. I think that when you are working, your point of working is so that at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, you don't have to work as hard. If he said, I don't want to play because we're fine and I don't want to put my family at jeopardy, but I am still able to support them, then I give him all credit. I don't have a problem with that. Now, if Dame was like a CEO and he's like, I'm not saying nothing, and what he's doing could affect hundreds and thousands of people, then you can say what you want to say. But if it's only going to, if it's going to benefit him and his family, how's he entitled? I mean, I don't see a problem with the athlete, regardless of the color.
Maybe Dan Orlovsky. Maybe Dan Orlovsky chose some words that he shouldn't have in describing it. Well, and I get that. And I'm not mad at, listen, right, Dame made millions of dollars so he can make decisions like this. So I ain't even mad. Honestly, I'm not even really mad at his decision. And this is coming as a Trailblazer fan. One second.
Let me just say this because you did make a point. Dan Orlovsky did apologize. I don't know if you've seen that, but I'm going to read the tweet. It says no. So Dame Dad said, Dame Dad. I keep calling him Dame. It's not Dame Dad. Dame Dad's wish he was him. Dame Don.
It's the Rock for life.
You stupid. So Dame said, go back on TV with real Skip Bayless, even though he's not with him, and tell all the viewers that, and tell Skip I can answer his questions as well. What have I done since y'all got so much to say? And don't know either one of y'all. So Dan Orlovsky says, no, you're right. I was wrong to use the phrase at the end. He said, that's my bad. The phrase of entitled. That's what he was talking about. He said, my comment started with saying, I hope we all realize nothing is meaningless anymore. And if it's about protecting our loved ones, 100%. I shouldn't have said entitled or brat. That's on me. And my bad. And then he also went on to say, and that's why I told you I was wrong to say that 100% on me, and you have my public apology. And he was just saying at the end, my bad, I was wrong for that. So Dan Orlovsky didn't apologize, but
But he only really apologized for just maybe those 2 words struck a chord.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? But I can see Dame's side of it. I can see Dame saying, I want to, I got a new kid. I don't want to bring this around. I got the luxury of doing it. I'm cool with that. Mm-hmm. But I can also see people who look at that like, oh man, fuck that. I can see that side. That's all. I can see that side too. I lean more towards that side. I honestly do. I lean more towards that side. But I can see both sides of it. I can see both sides of the gig.
I mean, again, like when you really break it down, it's basketball. It's not like he's like a construction worker. It's not like what he's doing is going to like really affect the world in the sense of like we really need you. Even if you're talking about the workers, even if Dame don't play, the people that's running the concession stands, the people that's running the facility, they're still going to eat because basketball is still in effect. So, again, I see what you're saying, Chris. I respect it, love it, but we just had to talk about that. Since we are talking about basketball, we talking about.
Oh, hold on. I did pull up Dan Orlowski's tweet that he put out.
Okay, the one
this
that
was
talking about.
No, you wasn't talking about that one. Were you, Ruck?
Oh, you're talking about the tweet. Which one? Which tweet are you talking about? Because Ruck was saying that he had like this great, speech talking about what was going on in the world.
Yeah, that's the one Chris asked.
Yeah, I got it. I got it queued up right now.
Okay. And what is it, like a long one or is it kind of like short?
I mean,
it's a tweet.
It's not like a book. I mean, but it's like it might take a minute.
Okay. Well, listen. If you want to read it, then by all means, please. But
I'll read it.
Go ahead. Please,
you put me on the spot. This ain't high school, okay?
Listen, you know how to read.
Tough guy.
I was about to say somebody's name.
Spell it, tough guy.
He said a main reason why.
Dan Orlowski, right?
This is Dan Orlowski.
Okay. All right.
This is in the light of everything that's going on. He said the main reason why sports matter to me. I'm a white guy who grew up in a mainly white area. I have spent most of my life around black men because of playing college football and in the NFL. What happened over that was that the poison, lies, stereotypes that I was led to believe about the black community as a kid were wiped away. My whole adult life I have spent around good-hearted, integrity-filled, hard-working, kind, funny, intelligent, conscious, motivated, loyal, friendly, trustworthy, amazing, successful black people. Without sports, I don't think I have those lies wiped away. I wish everyone could experience this. I think everyone needs to experience this in some way as a parent. My kid 100% will.
Dang. Okay. All right. Well, I like what he said. And if you know Shelton is pretty different.
We knew we grew up. We know.
Pretty different than New Haven, Hartford, Bridgeport, But again, I'm glad that he's saying that. I'm glad that he was able to recognize that. But we'll see. I just hope that more white people can recognize that too. And go from there. NBA playoffs. So it's word that the NBA is set to return in July, and they're going to do it at Disney World. What do you guys feel about this? I think it's. I don't know. I'm still on the fence about it. But what do you guys say? Somebody?
I mean, look. I think. I want to see some basketball. I do. If they could work it out at Disneyland and get some competitive basketball going and get these guys a couple warm-up games and then just pop right into the playoffs, I'm down. I mean, it ain't really much more I could say. Like, I'm down. I want to see it.
Okay. How about you, Ruck?
I'm just like you guys. I miss basketball too. So if we can get the playoffs, if we can get those 16 teams that they're talking about, kind of make it work. I'm expecting that the series are probably going to be a little bit condensed because they don't want this to bleed too far over into next season. Then let's go ahead and have it. I think the determining factor really is going to be if they're going to decide, which I believe they've already really reached the conclusion, if they're going to play with fans or not and how that's going to look. I don't think they lose as much money from a fan experience perspective because this isn't baseball where, almost, I think it was like 50 to like almost 60% of some of their revenue during the season comes from ticket sales. So the NBA will be fine. And I think everybody needs it. Like we're we're watching different things on ESPN, the Ocho, and everything else, like cornhole and and all the other types of stuff. So I think it'll be welcome back. I don't think that this will be like an asterisk season because, again, we've had a shortened season before with the lockout. So if we can get it back on, let's get it back on.
I agree. Listen, I definitely want to see. I mean, if it comes and if it returns, then that's fine. But I would love to see it. That sport, that competitive edge, and just having that. But if players like, listen, I don't want to play, then it is what it is. But it seems like the NBA will be stepping out. I think that, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, some soccer in different countries has started, right? I know that
La Liga about to start back up,
right?
On the 11th. Okay. The Liga Soccer League, that's one of the bigger ones.
I think that baseball
the Korean Baseball League is doing it too. So.
And because baseball, they are definitely 6 feet apart. Everyone besides the umpire and the catcher, I'm sure that they can work that out some way somehow. And with the batter, but I think that we should have sports. I know I was listening to something on the XM radio, and they were saying how for NFL they're gonna have maybe in Texas. For some games and college games, they're going to have like the stadium be at 25%, so that they can kind of space things out. We just got to deal with what we got to deal with right now. I mean, fans or no fans, as long as like you said, Chris, as long as it's competitive, as long as we're seeing a good game, and I don't have any issues with it, but got to be safe. Got to definitely be safe. So, those are our topics, man. We ran through those. Hopefully we'll get some good stuff. Hopefully by July we're gonna be talking about some NBA, and hopefully that the NFL say, yeah, we coming back. I hope that Goodell continues to be greedy, especially in the time of need. This is the only time where I want Roger Goodell to say, "Fuck what y'all talking about. I want to see some NFL." So but so I need him to be who he say he is, as Chris would say. Keep that same energy. Keep that same energy.
Well, yo, it's a betting terminology, yo. If you a scrub, I'm betting on you being a scrub. Don't be a star today. You've been a scrub. You've been a scrub all season. Don't be a star today. I don't need that.
You cold-blooded, Chris, man. You cold-blooded, man.
I'm not cold-blooded. I'm trying to win some money.
And that's another reason why. Again, and also if you bet, you want that to come back because some people supplement their income by gambling. And so it's a lot of money to be made. So before we head out, fellas, anything else that y'all want to talk about? Anything else that y'all want to mention before we hit the road?
I mean, I want to yield my time to Mr. Rucker because I know it's something on his chest, and I really want him to lay in. I just want him to lay in. Honestly, even if it's just for 5 minutes, I just want him to lay in.
Oh man! So you gonna do it? You gonna do it? That's what you want to do? Okay.
Because God told me to. Because He told me to.
Right.
He said, "Yield that time."
Just like my man Romeo said at 40-year-old virgin. You wanted to. He here now. the ninja here now. No, I mean, we talked about this on air, and I'm sure that everybody that's listening has seen what has gone on, what's happened in Minneapolis, the tragic death of George Floyd. It's so much to unpack, right? But what I will say is this, right? It is about time that we as a people, and when I say we as a people, I'm talking about minorities and the majority, right? That we as a people understand what it really is to live by the golden rule, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of people that are doing things like this and have been saying crazy things, these are the same people that go to their local churches and parishes and everything, and they always talk about they know the Bible, they know this, they know that, and if you know it, the golden rule is do unto others as you would have them do unto yourself. All right. When is that going to be the playing field that we operate on? Mm-hmm. When is enough going to be enough? Because for everybody that's out here speaking out against violence, against an uprising and things like that, that they don't want to see us do this, they don't want to see us do that. How much are we supposed to take as a people? You know, how much pain is another group or another culture supposed to inflict on a people when we're supposed to be a collective body? You know, if this country is supposed to be the shining light to the rest of the world, at what point do we start to care about our image? Because it hasn't been that. And like I said earlier, it's so much to unpack. The emotions, you know, range for myself, you know, throughout different points of the day, just depending on what I see, what I read, what I come across. But enough is enough. And I will say this for our people. It won't change if we don't make a change. If we don't make the necessary steps to protect ourselves, to better ourselves, to educate ourselves, to make sure that we care for our own first and foremost, then it will never change. If you do not invest in yourself to become at some point, and I don't even want to use the word conscious, because a lot of people use that. A lot of people are transitioning to the tagline of staying woke. Listen, be self-aware. Don't be the one, like I always say, that falls to the banana and tailpipe. Know what's going on around you and make people respect your bubble, your people, your family the way they should. But I really want to go in, you know, on a show that we just simply dedicate to this topic because I think it's needed. I think it deserves that, not only for just what happened to George Floyd, but just where we are as a society, where we are as a culture. We need to speak up for our own in a different way that people that listen to us, and I thank all the other listeners of other races that we have that listen to us, but understand too, like I know you know, if I can't stand for my own, I can't stand for nobody else first. Mm-hmm. So I need that. I need that not only from my people, but I need from others that are around me to respect that. And if you can't respect it, then I need to show you how. So that's kind of where I am right now. Again, like y'all brothers already know where I am. Like we need to just really let loose. But trust me, I am slowly getting on this soapbox. So I'm ready whenever y'all are.
Well, listen, man. You can't say nothing after that, man. That was so powerful. Definitely appreciate you, brother, man. Definitely appreciate you so much, man. And Chris, anything else that you want to say? You want to add or?
I said I yield my time.
Okay.
To Deshaun Rucker.
Okay.
And I yielded my time to Deshaun Rucker.
Deshaun Eloquentious Rucker, man.
My man.
You, man. And also, man, you know, I want to thank everybody for tuning in on the check-in, man. Everybody being so supportive, man. We appreciate y'all, man. Also, you know, like I said, we got to thank our sponsor, 94.3 WYBC.
The rhythm of the city.
Yes, man. I love when Chris said that. Also, man, you know, we are looking for sponsors. So please reach out to us. You know, I've got my email up there. Give us a shout out if you got a product that you want to, you know, it to be placed. If you have something that you want to share, you know, let's help each other. You know, we'll help you, and, you know, we'll do what we can to make sure that you are well represented. And also, we are on all of these platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, Apple, everywhere. We are all over the place. Yes, we are doing our thing. So we can't stop, won't stop, you know, until we make it to the top. Appreciate everybody. So on that note, thanks again for tuning into another edition of Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. I'm your boy, Professional Sutton.
And I'm your boy, Chris J.
And it's your boy, The Rock Report. Cheers.
Until next time, peace.